Leach trial for years now. It's the longest running mischief trial, not just in Canada, but in the history of the Commonwealth, more than 50 days. And people hate Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland. They didn't charge him. It's all the provincial government. And the decision to be so obsessed with it is the provincial government. And I think we should never forget that Doug Ford has been like this with the feds. Even during the trucker convoy, he declared an emergency. He's the one who had a "you can't go outside for any reason" announcement that even the police forces said, "Yeah, boss, we're not going to enforce that." Doug Ford, Dean Skoreko on Twitter calls him Fat Trudeau, and I'm fat, so I shouldn't call anyone else fat. But damn it, that sticks. Fat Trudeau. He is sort of Fat Trudeau. He's sort of dumb like Trudeau. He just, he's so awful. He's worse than everyone except for the Liberal and NDP alternatives. And he tried to undermine Pierre Poilievre during the federal election. He said just yesterday, Olivia, call up this clip if you please. He said yesterday, I'm going to continue to insult Donald Trump every day. And I'm thinking,
just wild.
You're not a diplomat. You're not part of our negotiation team. You have no, authority to conduct foreign relations. You have an auto industry that's at risk, frankly. You know that this is counterproductive. Donald Trump sometimes takes things personally. What is your game, you stupid buffoon? Why don't you? I know what the answer is. He's trying to distract from his own failures over 7 years, and he's trying to rebrand the coming recession as a Trump recession rather than his own fault. Take a listen to this idiot.
I'll never stop, poking Donald Trump, but we're going to focus on what we can do so that no matter who the next president is or whatever the next crisis, we're able to protect our workers, the services the public relies on, and our communities, not just from President Trump, but from anything that comes our way for decades to come.
All right,
we need to build a stronger and more resilient.
I just can't stand it. But he's going to keep poking Donald Trump every day. I think that Mark Carney actually wants the U.S.-Canada relationship to fail. And thank goodness for Danielle Smith, who is not a kamikaze pilot like Doug Ford there. She has the self-discipline. I saw her in Washington on the inauguration. I bumped into her at an event. She was down there making friends because they are the number one importer of, in fact, almost the sole importer of Alberta oil, Saskatchewan oil.
It's a scorched earth strategy, Ezra. I agree with you. Carney in particular. I mean, the failures of the Liberals, rather than acknowledge the failures of the Liberals of the last decade, let's just keep driving forward and making life worse and blame everything on Donald Trump. It's done on purpose. Everybody should be able to see this. They're using Donald as a boogeyman for all and deflecting off of him all their failures. It's to me, it's black and white.
Yeah.
Mr. Derek, what do you think about Doug Ford?
Very little, I hope.
You just defended him.
I almost drowned out an F-bomb there when you asked the question. Yeah. I barely stopped. I've got kids. I'm getting really good at stopping myself now. Look,
I'm definitely bookmarking that quote of Ford. Now, if I'm ever in court, I'll say, "Well, Doug told me to do it. He told me to defend myself." Yeah. So bookmark that somewhere. Yeah.
Well, look, go ahead.
No, you're good. Sir, go ahead.
I was going to say, talk about, Derek, when you said, I'm reluctant to say this, I thought you were going to be the grown-up and say, look, we have to let the legal process act independently. It shouldn't bend to the will of journalists or politicians. And that is a correct thing to say.
I would agree with that.
And I thought that's what you were about to say a few minutes ago when you said, I'm going to say something that may not be popular.
Well, actually, that is actually a part of it, is that, Danielle Smith got in a bunch of trouble for discussing the possible pardoning of people who had been given tickets and charged and whatnot in Alberta during COVID. And I think that'd be appropriate, but she got in a ton of trouble for it. Technically, in Canada, the heads of government, unlike governors and presidents in the States, cannot pardon directly, but they can make recommendations to, there's a certain board or body of some kind that can issue pardons. This has been done for certain times. People have been pardoned for acts of sodomy, criminalization of homosexuality back in the 60s and whatnot. There have been pardons, but it's much less regular in the Canadian political culture. You've got to be careful on interventions directly into the justice system, and so I have to be a little. Give a little grace to Ford there, but you've got to. But it's the law itself. The justice system itself is broken. The justice system is stacked with people with no sense of justice itself. But ultimately, the biggest single change we'd have to make to this is around castle doctrine. On the trade issues